ticket on your happy train, right? The key to harnessing this passion is understanding your why, right? Yes. Yes, they're coming, they're coming, they're coming. Show your talent and reach your goal. Absolutely. Have you ever walked into a place and you could just feel the energy in the room? You could feel that the people were happy to be there, that this was their joy, right? Tell me, tell me about a place where you've done that. Drop it in the chat. Where have you walked into and you could just feel the energy? Your hairstylist. Fantastic. Well, it's a good thing, your hairstylist. They keep you in there a long time. So you want to hope that they love what they're doing, right? A business conference. Okay. Right. And think about how church, absolutely. So think about how when you walk into these places, right, you can feel the energy. You know, the webinar, fantastic. Hey, Ray Sean. Oh, so glad you're here. Right. So, you can feel that energy. You want that energy. You feed off of that energy when you walk in the place. So when people feel that energy, when they feel that passion, they want to be a part of everything that you're doing and everything that you are. Right? All right. Next slide. Thank you. So I want to talk a little bit more about that why. And this is Simon Sinek, and he talks about the golden circle. And we can stop sharing the video, I mean the slide for just a moment. And Dahlia, if you can go to the link that I provided to you in the chat, and we're going to take a real quick look at a very short video about the why that really brings these ideas home.
Awesome. Give me 1 second.
And I'm reading the
Here we
chat.
go.
I'm loving what you guys are putting in there. Yes, 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 yes. We're enjoying the design process and spreading the culture and making connections with the people who enjoy a conscious lifestyle. I love it. Yes, I know you can see my cover photo. I'm sorry that you can't see me, but I'm here. I'm here. And as soon as Dahlia's ready, she's going to get our video queued up. And it's a very short video, but it really talks about the why. And Simon Sinek, I think, in this particular video, really, really brings it home. And then I want to hear your thoughts about it once we're done. You ready, Dahlia?
Can you see my screen?
I can
Can you
see your
see the?
screen. Perfect. Yes.
Okay. I'm going to take my head to make sure.
Okay, we can't hear it. So you have to stop it and then reshare it. You have to click on the buttons to say show share computer audio. There are two like buttons at the bottom, optimize and share. So
Okay, 1 second.
uh-huh.
Let's try again.
Still can't hear it. We still can't hear it, Dahlia.
Okay, I'm unsure what is happening, because on my end it shows it's sharing.
The video is sharing, but the sound is not. You have to click 2 different buttons to get it to share the sound from your computer. So when you go to share and you go to share the video, you have to click the buttons to say like optimize and share computer audio.
It was very tiny. Let's try this again. Okay. Were you able to hear that? I just didn't want to go too far.
No, I didn't hear anything. So make sure your volume is up too on your computer.
It is. It's all the way up. So I'm unsure.
Well,
it's,
you know
it's
what?
sharing.
Yeah, we won't worry about it. I'll share the link out so that you guys can see this, because it really is worth viewing. We'll just keep going and we won't spend any more time on that. So if you can just go ahead and reshare the PowerPoint, that would be great. But yeah, we'll make sure that we will make sure that I will put the link in the chat for everyone, and then we will also share it out.
We can send it out with the follow-up.
Yeah, with the follow-up. But I did put it in the chat because it is really, like I said, we're taking a look at. And so we can go ahead to the next slide. Thank you, Dahlia. All right. So again, understanding your why, right? So why does your organization exist? Why do you get out of bed in the morning? Why should anyone care? Those are the 3 very important questions, right? Why are you in business? Why do you get out of bed in the morning, and why should anyone care? And those are the questions you have to ask yourself, and really give some thought to those questions, right? And you jot down the answers for yourself. Okay, because that's going to be what's going to keep you from giving up. That's what's going to be there to help you keep moving forward, right? All right, next slide. And now we're going to talk about passion, and Dahlia's going to take it from here for a bit.
Awesome. So I started off with this quote that Oprah said, because I felt like it just really encompassed what passion was. And so passion can't be found in your head because it lives in your heart. The flames of passion are fanned by engagement, not thought. So no matter how hard you try, you cannot figure out your passion by thinking about it. You need to take action and feel your way to your truth from the inside out. And so that is extremely important when it comes to moving forward in whatever it is that you're choosing to do, to not live in your head, but live in the authenticity of who you are, and allow that authenticity to speak to you to help you find what your passion actually is. So again, 2 different definitions. Passion can be a bit tricky to define, but we all recognize it when we see it. So similar to how Karen was talking about earlier, like when you've walked into a place and you have felt a certain way, or you felt the energy of the room. And normally that's coming from a place where people are actually passionate about what it is that they do. And we're drawn to that passion. We're drawn to that energy. It also says passion is what gives you boundless energy, intense, almost single-minded focus, and the willpower to overcome even the most daunting obstacles. So similar again to what we just spoke about, what Karen mentioned, is lining yourself up with your passion allows you to climb those hurdles. It allows you to deal with the how sometimes, and those tough times that may come in that journey. You're able to deal with it because you can always circle back to the fact that it is what is living inside of you that's pushing you forward, versus this is just what I think about. Some of society's greatest celebrities and heroes, Martin Luther King, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Bob Marley, were men and women of great passion and purpose. Passion is what drove Steve Jobs to build Apple and Elon Musk to head not only Tesla, but SpaceX and the Boring Company. You can take steps to define your passion and put in work in building your career or business. So everyone on here, I'm sure you can think about, even if you think about their story, if you think about who they were, Bob Marley with his music, Martin Luther King with his mission and the passion in which he spoke, and even Elon Musk and just his drive and determination to become who he is today. Each and every one of these people were living from something that was within them, not just something that they were thinking about. And again, it is that is within you that can help you to drive your careers forward. So, passion in your business. Again, when we're talking about careers, passion drives you. And again, it keeps you going despite difficulties that your business will inevitably come across. And that's important to realize, that at a certain point, things are never just going to be 100% smooth. There will always be hills and valleys, just like there are in life. But what is grounding you during those valley times? What is grounding you? What is keeping you forward? What is telling you that even though things might be tough right now, that you can continue to move forward? It will not be, again, the thought that you have. It will be the thing that is driving you and that is keeping you attached to that particular goal and that particular dream. So when you're thinking about incorporating a business or making a business, what is the reason that you're actually doing it? And are those reasons going to be enough to help you, again, when those valleys come, when it's time to build a full business plan, when it's time to go out and market yourself and deal with 1,000 no's to get that one yes? What is that thing that you're going to hold on to during that journey of success when you're building your business? So we have passion, but then we also have purpose. A lot of times when we're talking, especially about businesses, the goal is like, well, what is the purpose of your business? And so passion, as we're talking, is about emotions. It's about what's within you. It's about your personal motivation of doing what it is that you innately love. But your purpose is the reason for the why behind what we do, which is primarily for others. So in other words, the passion is what's within you. The purpose is, how do you take what is within you and use it to be a blessing to others that are outside of you? So I looked up purpose because I'm a lover of definitions. So purpose, the reason why something exists, it's done or used, the aim or intention of something. So again, what is your intention? So if you're building a business and you're saying, this is what I love to do, what are you going to do with it? Who are you going to help with it? What are you going to build with it? So again, it's almost like the equal sign. So your passion is the 1 + 1, but what does that equal? What does that mean when things are said and done? When you're looking 5, 6, 10 years down the line, what are you looking at? What are the manifestations that you expect to happen because you stood in your purpose all of that time? So there are what we call 8 purpose archetypes, which means that there's normally 8 different types of individuals when it comes to determining why you're doing something. So I'm not going to go through them all, but we have the protector. So the person that wants to protect the things that are important, the guide, facilitating individual progress. Like if you think about someone who may have been a guide, we can go back to maybe like a Martin Luther King, who was really grounded in moving forward racial things at that time. You think about the unifier, inspiring individuals to join a movement. Even if we think about everything that's happening in the world right now, whether it's political, whether it's personal, there are hundreds of unifiers that are preaching and teaching from a certain aspect because they want you to join their stance on something. The challenger, someone who inspires people to take transformative action, Again, we see this all around the world where there are people that are really standing up and shouting from the rooftop that think maybe they want something to change, or they don't believe in a certain direction that maybe the country or the company may be going. And so they're willing to challenge the status quo in order to encourage people and enlighten people to go in a particular direction. So again, there are normally 8 different types. I think it's cool to kind of look at yourself and see when we're thinking about purpose. Again, when you're thinking about that 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, where do you believe that you may fall on this particular list?
As a matter of fact, before you move on, Dahlia, can you go back to the list just real quickly? Because
Sure.
I'd like everybody to just take a few minutes and think about which of those purpose archetypes, apply to you, and just drop it in the chat. Let's see where we are. So just take a real quick minute and do that. Are you the protector, right? The master, advocate, and love it, love it, love it. On a mission to change, yes. The master, yes. Rod Reed, I think I remember you from last week. I'm glad you came back to join us. All right, designer, liberator, fantastic. So you can see so many people in the room, right? And so when you know this, right? So when you have these definitions to kind of go by, right? So just jot it down and remember that, and you always keep that at the forefront of who you are, right? This archetype is a part of your why. It tells you why I'm doing things. What is my purpose? How am I impacting? Right? Like, so definitely, keep these things in mind, and you may find yourself, depending on the situation, kind of going back and forth and weaving in and out between, one or the other, or you may find yourself using all 8 at some point, depending on the circumstance. But there's something that stands out for you, and if you know that, and these help you to define that, then it will keep you on your mission and keep you going forward. Thanks so much, Dahlia. Go ahead, please. And I didn't mean to interrupt, but I just wanted to take a moment to do that and see where everyone was.
Oh no, totally understand. And yeah, that was very important. So your purpose meeting your why. So purpose relates to your why as a business. To quote Simon Sinek, people don't buy what you do or how you do it. They buy why you do it. Your purpose should permeate everything that you do. And so to give you an example of what Simon Sinek actually did, the example that he used when he talked about the golden circle as far as purpose versus or meeting your why, he talked about computers. And he talked about Apple computers with Steve Jobs. And he talked about, I believe it was Dell or another computer system. And he mentioned how when Apple was created, they created it based on a vision. They created it based on a mission. And the mission that was really sold was that they were challenging the status quo. And so people who also wanted to challenge the status quo really came on board with that. And one prime example he used was the MP3 player. He was like, people would purchase an MP3 player from Apple. But when you think about the fact that Dell also had MP3 players, people would almost respond like, why would I buy an MP3 player from a computer company? And he was like, but you're doing it all the time. But the difference was, one approached you as, we have an awesome product. This is what we do. We sell computers. Another approached you as, we have an awesome product and we're here to change the world and change the status quo. And by the way, we also make great computers. So people bought into the vision and the mission of Apple, which means that Apple was able to not only sell you computers, but also sell you everything around computers or other computer equipment. Whereas another computer company was limited to just computers because they only sold you what they did, not why they did it. And so again, hopefully you're able to see the video, because it really does provide a really good picture of what it really looks like tangibly when someone or when a company is approaching you with their why versus what it is, just what it is that they do. And when your passion meets your purpose, there's an overlapping. So again, passion is doing what you love. Purpose is taking that and then using it to contribute to the greater society. And so when you overlap those two, you have focus energy, P squared. You know what you're doing and you know why you're doing it. And so as you go through your business journey, you're always able to look at both sides and know exactly where you stand, exactly where you're headed, and exactly where what your goals are. So when we go back to talking about the hills and valleys that come with building a business and creating a business, having those, it's kind of like I look at these kind of like your bumpers when you're bowling, when you're learning how to bowl. You will only go so far to the left and to the right because you actually know where you stand. And these are the two things that will protect you and keep you as you continue in that journey. So when your why, passion, and purpose meet in vision, again, it creates, meet in business, excuse me, again, it creates your vision. It creates, you use that to create your vision. You use your vision to create your mission, and all of those should align with your values. So all three of these are connected. If your vision doesn't match your values, then the puzzle doesn't fit. Your values should match your vision. All of these things go together in one succinct puzzle in order to, again, to move you forward. And as I said, and to be your business bumpers when you are building your business and moving along this path. So understanding your mission. So an organizational mission is a statement specifying the kind of business it wants to undertake. So a few things to highlight about what a mission statement is. One, is extremely important because it helps tell the world the vision of your actual organization. It communicates why you exist. It reveals your philosophy, again, as well as the purpose. It specifies how it aims to serve, not only the key stakeholders as it indicates right here, but how it aims to serve, period. It can define your current and future business in terms of product, market, customer, etc. And it's often longer than a vision statement, and sometimes also includes a summation of the firm's values. So I'm a believer, and I learned in business class about not only creating a mission statement for your business, but creating a mission statement for yourself in owning and running the business. And when you look at the two, they should align. Your mission for your business should also align with your personal mission for yourself. That helps you see, am I really creating something that is aligned with who it is that I say I am? Because if it's not, at some point, there's going to be a crack in the armor. The more aligned you are with your personal mission and your business mission, the more aligned you will be and the stronger you will be as you continue down the road of building your actual business. Your vision. So simply, a vision is a clear, comprehensive snapshot of your organization at some point in the future. So again, when you think about 5 years down the line, the 10 years down the line, what is the direction that you plan to go? And maybe what are the things that you're going to need to accomplish in order to get there? So again, it's a future-oriented declaration of your purpose and aspirations. Once again, it supports the mission by laying out your purpose for being. And a clear vision helps in aligning everyone towards the same state of objective, providing a basis for goal congruence. And so again, when you're thinking about your mission, when you're thinking about your vision, especially if you're in a situation where you have employees or you plan to have employees, this creates the foundation of who you bring into your business. This creates the foundation of what people will expect as a part of your business and where your business is going. This also creates a foundation for recruiting, for building, for everything that you are putting together should align. So now we have our first step, which is this is the mission of my company. The second step is, and here's where my company is planning to go. And here are the things that I need in order to obtain that particular goal. And now your values. An organization's values can be defined as the moral guide for its business practices. So I'm going to read this next part because I think it's super important. So core values reflect the core behaviors or guiding principles that guide the actions of the employees as they execute plans to achieve the mission and vision. So once again, all three go together. The values reflect what is important to the organization and its members. The core values are intrinsic, so they come from the leaders inside of the company, which is an important thing to think about, especially considering when you create a business, you're basically going out there and you're facing the world. And the world has its own values. People have different needs, wants, and desires. So it's important to stabilize where you stand, where your company stands, so that not only can you attract those that are like-minded, you can protect yourself from something that can potentially come inside your organization and not be aligned. Also, core values are not necessarily dependent on the type of company or industry and can vary widely. And so that's important to know. Just because you have a particular business does not mean that your values have to be set up a particular way because another business that maybe you feel is similar to yours or a business that you look up to or want to model after has that set of values. Again, your values go right back to, as I said, are intrinsic. So they come from the leaders inside of the company. So that's you, your leadership team. What should our business stand for and what should our business represent? And similar to how I said earlier, if you also do an internal check of your values, the two should be able to align. You should be able to write your own values down and then look at your business values or the values that you want to incorporate into your business and recognize that there are similarities in the two. So that way you're walking the thing out authentically. You're not having to create a new value for yourself because your business has a completely different set of values. So again, role played by mission and vision. The mission and vision statements play critical roles. They communicate the purpose, they spell out the context in which the organization operates, and they specify the direction. And most importantly, again, if your business is growing or if you plan to have employees, they provide employees with a sense of belonging and identity. It helps someone say, I work for this company because. And there's a list of reasons. This is who they are. This is what they do. And we all, I would say, I'm guessing, like to be involved with people that know exactly who they are, that know exactly who they want. We all like to work for companies that have a very clear vision and we know where we fit in or what our roles actually are. And in order to accomplish all of that, the mission and the vision and the values are the foundation to create that security.
Okay, before we move on to now what, Dahlia, just real quick, if you can go back to that last slide real quickly, please. And so when because this is really, really important, when you talk about your why, and Dahlia, you did a fantastic job of really laying those all out. And it talks about the importance. And for those of you that were here with us last week when we talked about culture and leadership, can you see how all of these things are related? Not just the culture and leadership pieces, but really understanding your why, because your why is the thing that keeps you going when it's so hard, right? And Dahlia spoke of alignment. the alignment between your mission, your vision, your why. This is all about who you are and what you give off, how you vibrate in the world, right? The aura that you give, the energy that you give to the world and to everything that you do. And when you think about all of the various businesses and all of the competitors and all of the things that are going on out there, and it may not be that your business is so unique. So you have to figure out what's that thing that's going to make people want to come to you, that are going to, what's the thing that's going to make people want to patronize you. And again, it's that why, it's that energy. When you are living in your passion, when you are living in your purpose, when you understand your why and your mission and your vision, and that all comes together and collides, and it makes something very beautiful, and it gives so much energy. But it's also about surrounding yourself with people who understand the mission, who understand the why, who understand the vision, right? So it's so important that while you're building your business and while you are understanding all of these things, that when you are hiring people, when you are inviting people into your business and into your space and into your baby, right, that they understand that mission, they understand that vision, and that their values are aligned with yours, and that they can help you carry that forward, carry that mission forward, speak the word, spread the word, and get it out there on your behalf, and that they are representing you, right? And all of these things that come together. So you want to have the right people in your organization, not just having somebody there to do the job, because when it's your business, it's more than just a job, right? This is your baby, and your customers, that's your bread and butter, but it's also your passion. You are here because you have something that the world needs, right? And they need it from you. You have something that nobody else can give you, or nobody else can give them. They need it from you, and they're waiting for you. So just wanted to, keep those things in mind as you're thinking about your why. And if you don't know your why, you need to pause right where you are and go backwards, right? And figure out what your why is, so that you have that to stand on, and then make sure that all the moves that you're making and all the decisions that you're making are in fact in alignment with that why. Okay. And so this is a point before we also go on to the next steps. Do you all have any questions, any comments? Raise your hand, drop some stuff in the chat. We want to hear from you.
And I can't see the chat or anything at all. So
that's
just
okay. I can.
Okay.
I can see it. Questions, comments. And if not about this, here's the other thing, right? You said this was great. I needed to hear this again. All right, well, you're going to get a recording. I also want you to think about, now that you have a little bit more understanding about your why and how all of these things align, drop in the chat for us one thing that you're going to commit to over the next day or two, right? That helps you really gain understanding of your why. What is your next step before we give you some next steps? Tell us just one thing, drop it in the chat. And I'm glad you were able to get clarity. That is fantastic. That's what we're here for. One thing though, I want to hear one thing that you're going to commit to get you closer to that why and that understanding, and to make sure you have alignment over the next 2 days, within the next 48 hours. What will you do for yourself and or your business? Create a business plan to implement these things. Fantastic, Nidra. Yes. Write down my why and post it where I can see it daily. Perfect. Examine my mission, visions, and create a value statement. Excellent, Jovan. Hey, Jovan. Wonderful. Stop procrastinating. Yes. So, Mamo, yes. Stop procrastinating. Right? It just takes that first step. Keep moving forward with my vision and mission. Fantastic. Definitely agree. Yes to all of the above. Fantastic. Create my vision board. All right. All right. I'm not mad about a vision board now. I'm not mad about that because guess what? If it is not documented, it didn't happen, right? We have to speak life to these things, right? We have to write them down, post them up, as some of you have said, right? We really have to create that vision, but it's more than just about writing it down. And it's more than just about being able to see it on the board, because yes, those things are important, but it is about taking that first step. Taking that first step. Yes, update my mission and vision with the clarity I learned today. Perfection. I love it. I'm upgrading my mission and seeking resources and community. Excellent. And if you need help with these things, let me just reiterate to you that that's why SCORE is here. If you need help with that business plan, if you need help with that mission and vision, if you need help with making sure you have alignment, reach out and get a SCORE mentor. It is free to you to get this kind of information and this kind of help and this kind of support in this community. The one thing I need to know is how to come up with a value proposition and a tagline. Well, again, you get a SCORE mentor, right? We have subject matter experts that help you do all of that. The comments are amazing. Fantastic, Angela. Yes. Yes. And so you now that you've written it in the chat, you jot it down in your notes and make sure that you stick to that thing, right? And find someone in your community to be an accountability partner with you, right? Somebody that you can count on, and you say, you know what, I went to this webinar and here was my task, right? Within the next 48 hours, I need to do this. And I need you to hold me accountable to that. Check on me in a day and see how far I've gotten. Check on me in those 48 hours and make sure, right? Stop being discouraged, Simone. That's right. There is no need. And welcome back. I remember you from last week as well. Yes, no need to be discouraged. When you understand your why, you are moving in purpose. Somebody is waiting for you. Somebody needs what you have to offer. How long are you going to make them wait? Right? I couldn't attend last week's session. Can I get a recording from last week? I love what I learned today. Fantastic. I love that. Anita, is that possible?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Can you see the chat so you can make sure you get that out?
Yeah, she's one of my clients.
Oh, fantastic. And I said, let's send out the recording to everyone that showed up today so that they have that foundation if we can do that. I know I see a few folks from last week, and we have other folks that are also asking for it. So if we can just, everybody that is in attendance tonight, if we can just get that recording out from last week, that would be awesome.
Okay.
Thank you, Anita.
Sure.
Okay, so the chat is blowing up. I'm so glad to see you all. May I too have, yes. So everybody here who's here tonight, Anita is going to make sure that you get last week's recording. So, because this is a series that, these are standalone sessions, but they do build on each other and they are all interrelated. Okay, so, all right, very good. You guys keep commenting in the chat. And Michael, why? Good to have you back. It's been a long time. Fantastic. All right, Dahlia, let's go on to next steps. You guys keep that chat blowing up. I see you all.
So sharing your why. So as Karen mentioned, how important it is to surround yourself with individuals that align with you, not in just peer to peer, but also, again, if you plan to have employees. So there are certain places that are best practices to ensure that you're sharing your why. So like for new employees, like during the onboarding process. Now, also I want to add, I am a fan of making sure that you share your why in the actual interview process, even though that's not on here, because I'm sharing your why up front, I believe helps to set any new employees up for success. So in the onboarding process, you've already hired them, they're now here, provide written material on expectations. Provide training and orientation experiences that reinforce the expectations. So for any on-the-job training, place new employees with an experienced employee who models the expectations. All three of these are extremely important because, again, it's all about setting people up for success and not assuming that someone's values will automatically align with yours. It is always important for everyone to be accountable when it comes to this, because that way you can make sure that they are being that you've shared your why, you've shared your values, they've read it, they've absorbed it, you've talked about it, they've trained with it. So at the point in time that they are released or able to do things on their own, they have a foundation of understanding not only who the company is, but who is the person that created the company and why the company was created. And all of those little things that sometimes get overlooked when you're talking to employees or bringing employees on board are extremely, extremely important. And I always say, switch places. If you were an employee, would you want to work for a company that did not feel that you were important enough to at least invest their why? And for most of us, the answer is no. For a lot of us, in order for us to be invested, we want to know the why. We want, well, why is this way? Why did the company create this? It's not about challenge. It's about understanding. And the more someone understands their role and where they fit, the higher the percentage that they're actually going to be able to be successful in the role. For any existing employees, during orientation to new company engagement policies, and that English is not the best, but essentially when you're in orientation, even for new employees, bring existing employees in. If your values or your mission or your vision has been updated, bring them in, allow them to participate in that learning process, as well as talk about it, not only during the beginning, not only should it be just a part of your company culture, but it should also be reinforced during the performance feedback and discussion. And notice the key word in that is reinforced, not introduced. Again, sometimes the challenge that we face is only bringing up values and expectations during the performance evaluation period. And so someone has gone 12 months kind of doing their own thing, and then one day we pull them into an office and rate them against what they should have been doing or what we wanted them to do. Whereas if it's just a part of the day-to-day, if it's a part of the conversations that happen at the workplace, if it's a part of the orientation process, if it's a part of the continuous training and investment process that you make with your employees, when you get to your performance feedback and discussions, again, it's now just being reinforced. It's now just another conversation, because this is not the first time we've talked about it. It's probably the 100th time that we've spoken about it. And so again, if you really want to set people up for success, I think maybe a lot of people that I've met, possibly you, have walked into a performance evaluation and been completely confused on why you didn't get the 10 out of 10, or, there was some new standard that had been raised. And that's never a good feeling. You almost feel slighted. So again, it's extremely important to remember that setting an employee up for success means sharing your why, not just at the beginning, but throughout their entire employment with you. To help set them up for success and to set your business up for success, because a successful employee is a successful business. It's important to empower your employees. So empowering personnel to make decisions that improve customer service can increase a sense of engagement. So again, it's important when we think about setting people up for success. Everyone likes to feel that they have an understanding and that they're capable of making decisions. So your why, your vision, your mission, the things that you want your employees to do should not be so ingrained. Let me say this differently. There should not be, the walls that are around them should not be so hard that they do not have the flexibility to maneuver within them based on the company mission, value, and values. If you have trusted that you have poured into your employees exactly who you are, exactly what your business is, exactly what your mission and values are, and your goals and your whys, you also need to trust that your employees are able to make decisions based on that. So you can define areas where employees can exercise discretion, in meeting a customer's needs or in doing their job. Is there wiggle room in this one area where you'll give them creative abilities to make a decision or decide something needs to be changed? Or in this area, we're always open to feedback because we understand that this is what you do on a daily basis. Define the specific kinds of decisions employees can make without negative repercussions from management. And this one is so important because in order to create a safe environment, in order to create an environment that we feel really is rooted in a place that an employee really wants to be, they have to have the security of being able to make a decision and understand that even if the decision is wrong or it's not the best decision, the repercussions that they receive will not be negative, but will be one of coaching and training and growth and grooming. Now, I'm not saying if your employee does something that burns the business down, then that's a whole nother situation. But the average situation that is arising with employees is I made a decision based on what was happening at that point in time. And that has to be trusted. And again, if there's a learning opportunity, embrace it as a learning opportunity. Because again, those should be parts of your values and your culture in your business. If you want your employees, again, to grow and succeed and change, then you're going to create an environment that allows that. And so that does mean that there's going to be times that an employee wants to grow and therefore may get a little anxious and make a decision because they thought that that was the best thing to do. Our role is to nurture that energy, nurture that excitement, nurture that desire for growth, and not penalize, but instead groom and train and help them understand why the decision was not the best. Gain an understanding of why they felt it was. Again, those open dialogues help with working with your employees. Define areas of processes that must remain standardized up front. And so that goes back to what I said earlier, which is, yes, there are boundaries. It's important to express what the boundaries are, but give them wiggle room. Give them areas that they are free to flourish and paint whatever picture that they feel might be best for the company. And statistics show that when you allow your employees that flexibility, when you allow them to stretch within their current role, you create an environment that is going to be more profitable. Because once people know that they can think, that they can come to you with an idea, if they're doing a job and they're like, hey, this will work better, if they recognize and understand that they're able to present that and that it is received, and not only just received, but sometimes implemented because it's able to be implemented, not only do you gain more loyal employees, your business will improve because the improvements that they're bringing to you are for your business. And then there's follow through. So don't criticize employee decisions made in good faith within their areas of discretion. And again, that just goes back to what I was saying about the type of decisions and allowing your employees to stretch in place. And don't dump a poorly designed process on employees to figure it out. I think, a lot of us have probably been in a situation or experienced just being at a job or working somewhere and something brand new just didn't make sense. And no one was willing to accept the fact that it didn't make any sense. We just had to figure it out. And if we remember that feeling, it was one of frustration. It was one of feeling powerless in that space. So it is important, again, when we go back to accountability, it's important to realize that the role that you play is the role of making sure that your employees have everything that they need to be successful. And if they are coming to you and they're saying they don't have what they need to be successful, again, challenge yourself to not just look at that as pushback, but actually probe and ask why they feel that way. What is occurring that is causing that belief system? And really look at it from the employee's perspective and look at the actual process itself. And a lot of times what you'll realize is that sometimes as leaders, as owners, we can be a tad bit disconnected from the process because we don't do it every day. And so when someone is doing it every day, what they're saying should always be considered valuable to some extent. And so being willing and being humble enough to listen to those statements, gain an understanding of their perspective, once again, is super important because the perspective that they're giving you is about how to improve your business. And if you always take it back to that, that helps those conversations be more tangible and allow you to receive it a lot better. Constructing mechanisms for engagement. So changing position descriptions to reflect appropriate empowerment. So when I spoke about if an employee is doing a job every day and they start to come to you and they're giving you feedback, it's okay to say, you know what, maybe I had one perspective of how you were doing this particular position. Maybe we do need to change how it is broken down and how it is explained, not only to support that employee's vision and what they're doing, but also for future employees that you bring in. Because the worst thing is for someone to come in under one set of expectations, they get the job, and then once they're there, there's a whole nother set of expectations. That's frustration, and it creates a disconnect between you and your employees. Establish procedures for process improvement teams. That is also very important because it allows employees to feel empowered, that they can have some place to go to for feedback. Not everybody wants to go to the owner. Not everybody is comfortable going to the owner. I personally come from human resources. I know first and foremost, nobody likes to come to HR. And because of that, a lot of times there were challenges that were happening that we just did not find out about. But if you create teams of people that are able to discuss these challenges as a whole, a lot of times people will feel supported. They'll feel like I'm not alone in thinking that maybe this needs to change or maybe this needs to improve. And normally there's someone that is brave enough to go to an HR, to go to an owner or someone and speak about the challenges that they're having. That also provides opportunities for growth and leadership opportunities for your employees to be able to be a part of a team. So if you're looking for things that you can create to where your employees have growth opportunities, that is one way of doing that. Manage deliberately. So requesting advice from knowledgeable employees within their areas of expertise and acknowledging their contributions. Again, it goes back to humility and it goes to removing the title of who is who. It's all about what is best for this business and moving the business forward. So why would I not ask someone, the chef, about what is best in the kitchen if I am not a chef? If I am never in the kitchen, why would I close that door just because I happen to be whatever the title is? No, I need to find out from the people that are actually doing the job what is best, what is working, what is not working. How do I do this? How do we improve this? If you have a department that is having retention issues, are you actually talking to the employees or are you just receiving insight from management? It's always important to pay attention to who is controlling the narrative. So you always have to diversify the narrative in order to make sure that you're getting a very good picture and you're receiving from everyone because everyone is important. And having employees participate in the company strategic plan. Now, most people as employees never sat down at a corporate table with the quote unquote leadership team and ever talked about the direction of the company and or had an input. And so sometimes that creates, again, a distance. If you're creating a plan, but you don't have the people around you that are actually tilling the ground. Are you creating a plan just based on what you see or based on the conversation that you're just having with the team or the management team who also potentially has a limited view? Or are you sitting down with everyone, not only the directors, not only the managers, but maybe key employees from certain areas to talk to you about, hey, this is a good place of a direction that the company can go. And here's how I see this department moving forward. And here's the challenges or the opportunities that I see amongst my fellow employees. That perspective is key because once again, it's always important to stay plugged in to what is happening on the quote unquote ground level. And the best way to do that is to make sure that your employees are not just looked at as the people that do the work, but they're looked at as partners. And you remove the title and focus on what it is that they're doing and how can we work together so that you have the best opportunities available, the business can continue to grow, and we're all happy.
Dahlia?
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to just inject something there for just a moment because you are really, really dropping a lot of great gems, and I hope everybody is able to catch what's kind of being put out there. But I'm gonna even go so far as to suggest something that oftentimes we don't think about, and sometimes we don't think about it because there's ego involved, right? But as you were talking about employees and changing titles and making sure that, you hear these voices from other folks and that kind of thing, it brought to mind a research study that I saw where it talked about some of the greatest mistakes that leaders make in their businesses, right? And one of the things was thinking that just because you are the owner or this is your baby, that you are a leader and that you should be the one in the leadership role. Sometimes you can have the vision, you can have the capital, you can have the understanding and the knowledge, but you do not have the interpersonal skills to get folks to follow you, right? I want you to drop in the chat if you have worked with someone who you felt like should have been the leader of a business, but they were just kind of on the sidelines with you. That's just a yes or a no, a yes or a no, a yes or a no. Have you ever seen that? Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes, yes. Mm-hmm. And guess what? I have too. Have you ever dealt with the owner of a company that you felt like would do better off letting somebody else run it? No, you hadn't, Rod? Okay, that's fair enough. Fair enough. The owner of a company, but you felt like, yeah, there was somebody else that really could do all the time. Exactly. Right. And so, you really, when you're talking about building that very strong and strategic team, oftentimes you look at this person as a partner, right? That can be your right hand, your left hand. It could be that person that everybody just kind of looks up to and kind of gravitates towards and listens to what they say. And because whether they have a title or not, on site that this is a leader within your organization. And sometimes they're the person that you need to help get others on board. Sometimes you have to put them out there. I've been self-employed for years. Well, fantastic, Rod. The rest of us just want to be like you when we grow up. So we're trying to get there, right? And so we're trying to, figure out from the very beginning how to do it the right way, right? And certainly you're going to go through trial and error, but you want to be open-minded to all of it and understand that there are leaders within your organization that can get everybody on board, get them rallied up to either do the right thing or the wrong thing. And you definitely want to be a leader that recognizes leadership in others and give them those opportunities to lead. Give them those opportunities to shine, because they will stay and they will be loyal and they will get everyone else on board because they are respected. So just, a real quick tidbit. And so you look around your organization, look around your business, and see who is just a natural leader that people just tend to follow. You may not be able to stand it, but that's the person that you need to make your friend, and that you need to give a little leeway to, right? All right, so that's all I had to say on that. But if you have any questions or comments, please either raise your hand or put them in the chat. Please go beyond me. I'm here because I want to be the best in my field. I know that's right, Mr. Rod. Well, we're all trying to do that, right? But we all are standing on somebody's shoulders, Mr. Rod. We are all standing on somebody's shoulders, and so we hope to go beyond. All right, all right. Carry on, Dahlia. Sorry to interrupt.
You're fine. That was good. So you are what you constantly do, which makes excellence not an act, but a habit. And so, again, that is just, I think it just speaks for itself when it comes to consistency, when it comes to working with your employees, when it comes to building your business. Every single day, you must follow your goals. Every single day, you must challenge yourself. Every single day or every single time you interact with employees, you must, as Karen mentioned, you must make them feel valued. Every single day that you work with every single time you work with a customer, you must be consistent. So that is what makes it excellent, not just the mission statement, not just the vision statement, although those will sell excellence. It's more important to actually be excellence. And in order to do that, it has to be a habit. It has to be something that you challenge yourself to do. When Karen mentioned earlier, and again, I apologize, I can't see the chat, that someone said they were going to, put something up on their wall and see it every single day. It's doing whatever it is that you need to do in order to remind yourself of the role that you play in the situation. And then remember that whatever you're creating is more than likely bigger than you. If you're creating something with employees, that level of excellence is making sure that people can put food in their mouths and take care of their families. If you're involved in something that's serving the greater society, it's about the people that you serve, and they deserve that. Because again, if you take a moment and switch places, we don't want any less. When we think about how frustrated we get when we call customer service, we're all up in arms because it did not represent excellence. So we can't be hypocritical in that sense when it comes to us being the one that is controlling the situation or dictating the way something should go. We have to do the hard work and put in the sweat equity and the mental equity and release, someone mentioned, procrastinating and all of that stuff. We have to challenge ourselves in that area, but it's not a one-time event. It's getting up every single day. And sometimes a joke that I make, even in my own personal life, I get up at 4:00 in the morning to go to the gym. That is not easy, especially because I never did it before. I made a decision that my health was going to be a priority. So I wake up at 4:00 in the morning. I'm at the gym at 5. And in the morning, the joke I make is I don't even allow myself to think. I just do. Because the moment I stop and I think about the fact that it's 4:00 in the morning, and I think about the fact that my bed was just really, really warm, all of a sudden, all of the alternative thoughts come in. Oh, I don't have to go today. Oh, I could just lay back down, give me another 10 minutes, which of course turns into another 3 hours. But it's every day waking up, not allowing yourself those options, but being, again, 100% soul, that focused energy that we talked about when purpose and passion meet, being 100% focused on this is what it is that I am going to do for myself and for my business. And so that is then what creates the habit.
And in addition to that, Doll, the other thing that I will say is that you also have to be 100% honest with yourself about what your strengths are and what your areas of opportunity are. You have to recognize and be honest with yourself about the fact that you cannot do everything, that you need to have a team that you are building that bring a different set of skills and that are strong where you are weak. But it starts with you recognizing that you have weaknesses, that you can't, that there are certain things that you're just not good at, right? If you are not good with customers and people, then don't get on the phone. Don't be the one to set these things up, right? It's okay to be a silent partner sometimes, right? It's okay to be the one in the background sometimes, but you have to be honest with you, right? And you can always work to improve yourself and to improve those areas in which could use just a little tweaking, right? But it's also okay to build a team and have a team around you that supports you in all of those areas as well.
Awesome.
Okay.
So no, I was going to say, did you want to take the
Sure,
tonight's
sure.
takeaways?
Yeah, without a doubt. So tonight's takeaways. This is a moment. We're going to give you just a couple minutes to really, before all the ideas and the good stuff get away, really jot down what your takeaways are from tonight. What are the things you're going to start doing? What are the things you're going to stop doing? And what are the things that you're going to continue to do? What did you take away that you feel like you can use? So I'm going to be quiet. Dal's going to be quiet. We're going to give you just a few minutes to jot those things down while they're still fresh. And then when you are done, I want you to just drop one of those things in the chat so that number one, we can hear you and see you. And number two, we'll know you're done. Fantastic. I see them coming in. I see them coming in. I don't know everything and find people who compliments me. That's right. That's right. Remind myself that why is bigger than me. That's right. That's right. All right. We're going to give you just a few more moments. And as we see those takeaways come in, just one, you write down all the others for yourself, but just share one with us. So we know you're done and you can circle back, right? Because when you write it down, it means that you got to hold yourself accountable too. All right. Remember that my passion and my purpose are two different things. Yes. I need to share them with the team. Yes. Stand on my purpose and always stay true to self. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. They're coming in. expressing the why and the values, not only through the mission and the vision statement, but also to live and implement it in your business, whether it's for your employees, product development, or through your customer service. I love it. You guys have really been listening. You guys have really been taking it in. Fantastic. And I promise you, as you begin to implement these things, as you keep your focus on these things, you will see a change in your employees, you will see a change in your business, and you will see a change in your money. All right, remind myself to focus on my mission and vision, keep it moving. Can we get more of your informed sessions? You absolutely can. Next slide, doll. And next slide. Oh, right there. Sorry. Yeah, right. So here are some next steps. And yes, next up, that says Thursday, but it's really Tuesday. We'll fix that before we get these slides out to you. Next Tuesday, the next part of our leadership series is civility and respect in the workplace. So for every Tuesday from 7 to 9, right here, same time, same sandbox, for the remainder of the month of November, we have additional sessions. So next week is civility and respect in the workplace. Then we're going to do one about who's in the workplace, where we talk about the generations in the workplace. And then we're going to do one on professional image and kind of executive presence and how you show up. So we have more in store every Tuesday for the remainder of the month. So yeah, this is just session 2. We got 3 more to go. Thank you for asking. And we hope to see you there. All right.
Thank you all for coming and being patient with us tonight as we got off to a rocky start, but I think it turned out okay. And we'll do better next week.
Yes, we will. And I'll be able to see you all next week. And by all means, if you want to contact us, certainly you can reach us at SCORE. Anita's going to send out an email. And Anita, if you don't mind including our email addresses in there as well, I'd appreciate that. So if you want to reach out and you have additional questions, something that you didn't think of today, we are available to answer those for you. Honestly, today's session was the best I've ever been. Oh, fantastic. Thank you. So much clarity. Well, thank you. We appreciate you guys, and thank you for coming. It's not easy to give up your time in the evening after you've worked a hard day. So certainly I'm very glad to hear that you got value out of the session.
Okay, and thank you both, Dahlia and Karen, for a wonderful presentation. And we'll expect even more next week.
Yeah, we can't wait.
Okay.
See you
Thank
next
you.
week. Good night, everybody.
Go and see the results of the election. I hope everybody voted today.
I voted. I did. I made time today.
Okay. Okay. See you all next week.
All right. Bye-bye.